All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Thursday. Blessings to everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. As well, guys, Trump done did it again, man. Trump done did it again. Boom! Whoa! Holy moly, macaroni and queso. What a crazy dump yesterday. What an absolutely insane dump. But we are currently finding a little bit of support at none other than the Fibonacci 618 level after taking the lows from Tuesday, March 18th, as well as the lows from over, I guess, the end of March, the weekend here. So we are getting a little tiny bit of a bounce of hope from this zone. Major shout out to everybody in the chat. First of all, got to give a major shout out to Jamie B. He says Trump's the GOAT. Let's go, baby. Shout out to JB. Gammy. I'm glad. Shout out to Felipe Collin. Shout out to 3Digit. Shout out to Jock and Boulder. Shout out to Number File 7. God bless, God bless. Shout out to Yehoshua Riverbear, who says bye, bye, bye. Shout out to Max Cherry. Praise the Lord, brother. Praise the Lord. Praise Jesus. Shout out to John Doe. I want Gary Gensler back. Got an ad for Coinbase. Hold on. Hodl on, baby. Shout out to College and Crypto. For real though, WEEX was shady yesterday. Yeah, that was super shady. You know what else is shady about it? Is the fact that now when you look at the chart, that scam wick is not even there anymore. Isn't that crazy? I think that's pretty crazy. But anyway, that's a whole nother story, guys. And by the way, BLOFIN right now is an exchange that doesn't have scam wicks, and BLOFIN is currently offering 10% cash back on everything you deposit, up to a $1,000 future bonus, and BLOFIN is giving away $1,000 to my audience. So today we're going to be doing some giveaways to win $100 of trading bonus money if you are signed up to BLOFIN using my link. All right. That's the only way you can be eligible to win the $100 giveaway courtesy of BLOFIN, all right, which is where I'm currently long from this low right here at the Fibonacci Golden Pocket, and short from this CDW-ish thing that we got yesterday. Not quite taking the overall high, but taking some highs and then losing the high, losing them as well. So, I'm pretty sure I entered this trade live yesterday as well. So, where are we currently bouncing from? We are bouncing from a level that we have been ready and waiting for, guys, for a very long time. If you've been on my live streams, if you're in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, this is the level that we've been waiting for. In fact, yesterday we were saying, look, if we're going to lose this, there's a good chance we come for these lows. And what do you know? We have come for the lows. We're getting a bounce. The question is, what's going to happen next? Because we are coming back to backtest a very, very key support. And if we don't hold, well, I'm not going to say I'm afraid, but I am going to say that I have my concerns that we might actually go for the $76,000 low if we cannot hold where we're currently bouncing from right now. Major shout out to Splashfire Films. Shout out to all the mods. Shout out to the super chat. Camille, he says, hello. Well, hello to you, my friend. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. He says, if we get 2,000 likes, Jay will wear the beautiful wig from his non-carbon binary days. Oh, man. I don't even know if I still have that wig, man. That wasn't a wig, bro. That was all natural. That was all natural. When I got my degree in trans non-carbon binary emission gender studies, this was my actual hair, bro. This was my actual hair. All right, this ain't no wig, man. This is the real deal. Would you look at that? Alrighty. Shout out to Chief Wiki. He says tariffs are not in full effect yet. Tariffs are in full effect yet. They're not in full effect yet. Just wait to buy lower. Jason to the jail. To the jail. Shout out to DJ. Instead of mods, I thought he said moms. Well, shout out to all the moms as well. Shout out to the mothers. Shout out to the moderators. Shout out to David Brumblebo. Shout out to Beats and Stuff. Beats and Stuff, bro. Look, I trade on WEEX myself. Bro, I trade on WEEX myself, okay? And I'm actually in the process of reaching out to them to get them to reimburse people who got screwed over by the scam wick, bro. All right? So, I don't want to hear it. We're all here trading on these exchanges that are pretty shady. If there's an exchange that doesn't ask for your name and lets you trade with 100x leverage, you have to approach it like what it is, bro. Shady, right? It's a risk we're all taking here, bro. It is what it is. I myself trade on WEEX. I could have just as easily been screwed over by that scam wick, but I wasn't. All right, praise God. Okay, so look, WEEX was a really good exchange as far as I knew. I did my research. I talked to the team. I talked to other YouTubers who have communities. Talked to them. Have you guys had any issues? No issues? People I respect and trust. Lately, there's been some issues. What are you gonna do, man? It's just one of those. It's just one of those things. How many exchanges have we seen come and go over the past few years for various reasons? All right, my man. So it is what it is, my friend. Shout out to MAGA Max Cherry. Says, yeah, bro, that's crazy. Shout out to S Crypto Warrior. The skinny wick looked like the waitress at the diner. Yeah, that was a crazy wick on WEEX yesterday, man. That was a crazy wick on WEEX yesterday. Tell One says they reimbursed me. Yeah, I'm reaching out to them right now to see if they'll reimburse people in my community, because that is their fault, right? That should not be happening. That should not be happening. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Divine Hood. Shout out to Lucky Jim Bob 111. Shout out to Slick Shoes. I love you, bro. God bless you, man. Is the hair pink or purple? It doesn't identify as one or the other. Shout out to Crypto Pump It. Is the fam okay? Well, bro, we're going through some stuff. I'll be honest with you. All right. So if you're praying people, please keep the Casper family in prayer. All right. Shout out to Investment Time. All right. Alex Me trades MEXC. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of MEXC. I was never a big fan of MEXC. It was always a clunky exchange for me. It didn't work very well. Didn't work very well. All right, so DGen Trader says they're giving full refunds, so it's not scammy. Look, if WEEX is on the up and up and they're giving full refunds, then good on them, right? Good on them. Good on them, right? That's what you would expect. That's what you would expect from an exchange that's on the up and up. Did I take 618 on a date finally? Well, Fit Genius 618, it looks like she is offering us a little bit of support down here at this low. And we're going to pop on over to the Bitcoin chart and see what exactly is going on. All right. So make sure to smash the likes. If you're interested in a $100 giveaway, make sure to sign up on BLOFIN. You don't have to trade on BLOFIN in order to get the $100 trading bonus. You just have to sign up. You don't have to deposit anything to win. You just have to sign up. It's literally free money with no strings attached to trade with. All right. You can't withdraw it. You can only trade with it, but you could withdraw your profits. Got some. Here's what we're drinking today, guys. All right, I take all these labels with a grain of salt, by the way. We got ourselves some organic, allegedly, organic seltzer water. How does that even work? Organic sparkling spring water, okay? Infused with organic coconut and lime flavors. Not only is it organic, but it's non-GMO verified, all right? Now, I would assume if something's organic, it can't be GMO. But apparently, it comes right from the pristine mountain spring in Vermont. All right, and it has organic natural coconut flavor and organic natural lime flavor. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to roll with it, all right? I'm going to roll with it, okay? Let's pop on over to... shout out to Blaster. Yeah, seriously, right? Who knows? Don't you want a little bit lower to grab the liquidity from the 18th? Yeah, man. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, all right? Let's go ahead and take a look at this. First of all, the one thing that really stands out to me here is this wick on the weekly candle, man. Oof. That weekly candle does not look the best, to be honest with you. A shooting star candle. And potentially, this is even going to close now below the weekly level that we had here from basically the last 2 weeks. So that's really not a good look here. And this really stands out to me, this weekly candle, the weekly market cipher VWAP, which was looking promising. It was looking promising after that bounce, but now it's starting to look like it's kind of flopping on to the downside here just a little bit, all right? Flopping onto the downside just a little bit. And, I know. All right, well, yeah, okay, so let's talk about what's happening right now. So, as we know, the Bitcoin price came down to a pretty key area of support around the $76,500 level. This was the trade setup that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. All right, so setup given in advance from that level, walk through exactly what I wanted to see and what was going to get me to pull the trigger on that trade. We saw everything we wanted to see. We pulled the dang trigger, and we got ourselves a little bit of a bounce. But after the bounce, guess what? Well, we start to form this bearish rising wedge pattern. And, you know, objectively speaking, it's bearish. Once we start to break down, we were saying, okay, for me, the only hope is that we actually find support in between the Fibonacci, Golden Pocket, and 786, which is right here. And as you can see, today we actually finally dipped down and tapped into that Fibonacci 618 level. I am actually looking at this as a massive zone for a potential bounce, and I'll tell you why I'm looking for a bounce from here, because the hypothesis right now for bullish price action to reach our $97,000 level is that this is actually a significant bottom. And what we've done here is we've made a higher high. Well, we haven't made a higher high, but we made our first high. And now we look for a higher low in this key area, and then we look for a higher high. Right? That's the bullish hypothesis right now. But so far, we've seen a few familiar faces in our trading journey here, which have caused us a little bit of stress in life. The first is this, right? We take a Fibonacci from the high to the low, and what do you see? Well, the price rejected right from the zone that we have here between the Fibonacci 618 and the 786 level. Okay, 2 times now we've come up into this golden pocket zone, and we've gotten 2 harsh rejections, just like that time you asked out that hot girl in high school. And I guess you guys can't really see the screen here because I forgot to put it on the right one. But you can see right here from the low that we made back here on March 11th, we came up, we hit right into the Fibonacci 618 level twice for a harsh rejection. We come up again for another harsh rejection, just like the time I asked out that girl in high school, will you please be my girlfriend? And she said, well, Jason, I just don't like you like that. Like, I like you like a friend, I like you like a brother, not really like a boyfriend. And it was a harsh rejection, okay? It was hard to watch her date those jerks who treated her badly, right? She always complained about her boyfriends to me. So finally I decided, you know what? I'm gonna gather up my courage and ask her out again. Maybe after dating that jerk, she'll realize how nice it would be to date a nice guy like Jason who would actually care about her, who would actually treat her the way she deserves. So I asked her out again, and guess what? She said no. The reason why she said no is because she had to pay tariffs. It's a sad story, but it's true, man. And so we've gotten a double rejection from this level. But here's the thing about being in the friend zone. Because you're in the friend zone, she will use you for stuff, right? And so if she needs a ride somewhere, she'll call you. She'll use you to like cheat on your homework. She'll copy your homework, copy your tests, copy off your labs in biology class, honors bio. And so she will be there for support when you're down and out. And we can see twice she's given us the harsh rejection, and twice she's strung us along, giving us support just so that we think we might have a chance with her so that she can still use us for all the benefits that we provide. It's a pretty sad situation, to be honest with you. And we also see some other interesting things happening on our oscillator, Market Cipher B. So what's quite interesting about this low here is as we actually came to hit that key support, we are seeing on Market Cipher B down here, the coveted Sam Bankman-Fried bullish man boob pattern. Where as the price is getting lower, for some reason, the man boobs are getting higher. It's a very strange condition, very rare. But nonetheless, it's actually what we're seeing here on the chart, as you can tell. And this usually does signify a bottom being in. All right, it usually does signify a significant bottom being in. And so if you have your oscillator telling you a bottom could very likely be in, then you look for that first Fibonacci zone after the initial pump to find a higher low. All right. This is why we were looking at this area for a potential higher low, for a potential bounce. Now, the bounce could be happening now, but I have to say, I don't really necessarily like the way the daily looks. I also don't necessarily like the way our 4-hour looks, but I want to give you a bullish scenario that I'm currently looking for. As we are looking at the price come into our box of support, which is between, it's a big zone, it's like between 79 and 80,700, give or take, we are seeing Market Cipher B printing higher momentum waves here. As we come down to the 1-hour time frame, we are seeing as the price is getting lower. We are seeing bullish divergences here. Okay, we are seeing the money flow crossing from the purple into the blue. Money flow is getting much higher. The momentum is getting much higher. And we're pretty much seeing this all across the board. Even on our 24-minute, we are seeing the money flow getting higher over time here as the price is getting lower. All right, it's not as significant as the 1 hour, but we can just draw a line here and see the money flow is getting higher here as the price is getting lower, as our momentum waves as well. And so as long as we're seeing the bullishness here within this zone, for me, I am looking for a long from this area because, again, we're trading the bullish hypothesis, which is the way I trade. You know, as long as I have confirmations at a key level, I will trade that idea. And again, the trade idea is low, high, higher low from somewhere in this box, and then a higher high where potentially I'm looking for a move up to the $97,000 macro Fibonacci golden pocket retracement, okay? Because again, remember, it's just a game of heartache. 6 Juanita gives us the rejection. She breaks our heart. She's there for support. She makes us think maybe we have a chance. We feel good about ourselves. Our self-esteem starts to pump. We say, maybe I'll ask her out again. I've been working on myself. I've been going to the gym. I learned Spanish. I learned how to play guitar and piano. Maybe she'll say yes now. And then, look, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe she will say yes. I don't know. Maybe she will. Maybe she's into foreign guys with a Spanish accent. Hola, 6 Juanita. ¿Cómo estás? Tú es muy bonita. Señorita. Ooh. Right? She might dig that. We don't know. Okay? Not only is $97,000 a golden pocket, but it's also our high volume node of the range here, right? So this could actually give us a move up to potentially 97K. And of course, we understand before 97K, we have our $90,000 major area of resistance, which could just give us another lower high. But yeah, I'd be looking up toward 97. That's where I'm personally kind of hoping we come to. Now, let's say that this box doesn't hold, because there's a good chance that this box, if not held, we're going to lose it. All right, we're going to lose it. We're going to come down and take $76,000. All right. If that happens, then I have to say that it's most probable that we will come back to backtest these highs from the low 70s. All right, because right now the trend is down. And I'm not saying I'm ultra bearish on Bitcoin, and I know I even posted on my X account, my Twitter account. You guys familiar with Twitter? All right. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Jason_Casper. But I did post on my Twitter account that I have a gut feeling that we see Bitcoin coming down to maybe between 67 and 70K before we see new highs. Do you agree? Why or why not? Make sure to follow me on Twitter, okay? But, yeah, I mean, look, there's a chance. I mean, I'd say it's most probable. And again, I am not bearish. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin. Not at all. I'm fundamentally bullish on the asset, all right? But we do have to understand that making another lower low and failing to bounce from our golden pocket means we probably do come back down to the major support resistance flip in the low 70s. And that's going to be somewhere around here where we have many, many confluences of many levels of support, which will most likely, in my opinion, give us a bounce. In fact, even if, I'm not saying the bear market's here, but let's just assume this is the top of the bull market. Let's just assume, all right, for argument's sake. Even if the top is in, this is still probably going to give us a really big bounce, all right? That's probably still going to give us a pretty big bounce. Even if all hell breaks loose and we come all the way back down to like this level here, okay? Which could happen, right? But even if that happens, this level is most likely going to give us a bounce. Just like how, you know, this level down here where we bounced from was likely to give us a bounce, right? There's levels that are likely to give you a bounce, even if it doesn't mean we're going to $100,000 million Bitcoin. They're still likely to give you a bounce. So if you're a trader, you want to keep an eye on those levels because those are where the high probability trade setups come. Now, we also have to deal with the potential of getting a bounce from here and then, let's say, losing the level. If that happens, I actually would expect that we come down into this previous range here. All right. Now, I know this is scary for a lot of people, but we have to understand this is exactly what happened last bull market, right? Last bull market, we were in a bull run. Everything was happy, hunky-dory, happy-go-lucky. And what happened was, look, we had a sideways range here. And then we broke out. And after the breakout, we formed a sideways range up here, right? Once we lost that range, we came into the previous range, and we actually respected that previous range as our support and resistance. You see how that works? Assets do this all the time. They form a range, they form a fair value zone where the market determines this is the fair price of an asset. Then if it breaks out, the market determines this is the fair value of the asset. And if it comes back into a previous fair value zone, it will actually respect those levels. We see this happen all the time for many assets. And notice that after coming back into the previous range here, we broke out, and that's when we actually made a new all-time high on Bitcoin, made that double top. So one scenario that we do need to be aware of is a repeat of this, right? We come into the previous range, we trade in here for a while, and then we break out and make our new all-time high, which probably by this time, in my opinion, will take us into the fall, all right? Have like a bearish summer and then a bullish fall, very similar to what happened in the last 4-year cycle. We had a very bearish summer, right? May, June, July. It wasn't until August that we broke out, and then it took us from August, September, October, November, about 4 months before we hit that new all-time high, right? So those are two scenarios, but I do want to say we really want, if we want to see bullishness in the next few months, if we want to see a bullish May, we cannot lose this box right here. We cannot come down into the previous range, right? We cannot come down into the previous range. We just can't do it, all right? Shout out to Lauren Alessandra Colis. She says, hi, Jason. Hi to you. Shout out to Zeto. Shout out to Pope J Dollar. Shout out to Justin Irwin. He says, pig nips. Yeah, we got those pig nips on market, Cipher B. You know what I'm saying? No chance. Rejection after rejection. Shout out to Lindsay Power Artist, who says, how many times do I have to say Aori? I think he means sorry. I'm not sure. Vital Bud says, Jason, come on. I know what you are saying, that to keep viewers, but be honest, it's not going to 100K this year. You think it's not going to 100K this year? Look, I remain 100% neutral on the Bitcoin charts right now. Shout out to Michael Lone Car. Shout out to 15618. Why do I keep the text in the background? Oh, you know what? This was from yesterday's live stream because I want people to be able to know what asset I was looking at without having to say it, because Trump was going to be speaking. But yeah, I'll take that off today. Okay, so yeah, there's a chance we get a bounce from this area. I'm currently long from our little bounce at the 618. But I'll be honest with you, as my friend Divine Hood said, shout out to Divine Hood, by the way. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel at Divine Hood Trading. You know what? On Bybit, we took the Tuesday 18th low here on Bybit. So we already took that low. I guess we didn't take it on all exchanges. We didn't take this low on all exchanges. I like Bybit, to be honest. But yeah, it looks like Coinbase did not take the low from Tuesday, March 18th. So the fact that Coinbase didn't take the low means we could dip down lower. Let's come back over to our Bybit chart. Yeah, and I am... Oh, there's one more thing here. If we look at the volume of this entire range... Really? Hang on one second. I could have sworn that... I could have sworn. Maybe it's this... I don't know. You know, I'm sorry to go straight Brit on you, but I could have sworn we had a value area low, a little bit lower. Probably not. All right. But anyway, the area to look for the bounce, and obviously in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we've got the exact levels we're looking at. But this whole zone is going to be major support right here, where I will be looking for a bounce. All right. Let's take a look at our Bitcoin trades, see what's going on. I've got to give a major reminder to everybody to make sure, if you want to win $100 of free trading money, that you sign up on BLOFIN using my link. You don't have to trade on BLOFIN. You don't have to deposit on BLOFIN. But if you sign up, we're going to do some giveaways today, giving away $100. You have to make sure that you know your user ID number in order to be part of the giveaway. All right, so it's underneath your icon up at the top here. right? You hover over that to see a user ID, all right? And you could just copy it. That's how you'll know. All right, so look, we're getting a little bit of a bounce on Bitcoin, the 5-minute time frame here. What we have not done is we have not seen any signs of strength after the bounce. Not yet. In order to see any kind of sign of strength, we need at least a 5-minute change of market structure, and that will not happen until we actually reclaim 82,461. So if we reclaim 82,461, that's going to be our first sign of strength here. And then we have to reclaim for a significant sign of strength, 83,916, because now we're changing hourly market structure. And changing hourly market structure, in my opinion, is a really strong sign that we are going to then form the introverted head and shoulders pattern on Bitcoin. Introverted head and shoulders pattern. The reason why they call it an introverted head and shoulders pattern is because you know how those introverts in high school, nobody pays attention to them, right? They think they're losers. They think they're going to dump forever. They think they have no hope to ever be cool or popular. But here's the thing. Those introverted kids in high school, they're working hard, right? At McDonald's, they're taking all the money, putting it into Apple stock, putting it into Amazon stock back in the 2010s, right? And then after high school, when they break out, all the girls are now interested because all the jocks have peaked. All the jocks peak at like 27 years old. Now they got the beer gut, they got the dad bod, they had their lame job because they didn't really get a degree. They thought they were going to be a professional athlete. Didn't work out for them. But now those introverts are getting all the attention, all right? Because they will break out, hit new highs and everything. Now all the girls from high school are going to be asking for your dang number. And of course you tell them no, right? Because you're MGTOW, man. You know, you don't deal with those girls anymore, right? You're a man just going his own way. You know, who needs girls anyway? You know what I'm saying? Who needs girls anyway? I mean, come on, the human race would be fine without girls and without women. Right? We just make babies ourselves, right, guys? Why not just do everything you do with girls but with other guys, right? Well, I don't know if that sounds too good, actually. But, yeah, we might actually see that happen. So if we start to come above this level, that is an hourly change of market structure. And now we're going to take a look at the order flow and see what happened yesterday. Because, man, we got a big dumperoni. Oh, my goodness. Wow. We got to refresh this. Look at that massive dumperoni. We must have left behind some single prints on that. Let's check out the TPO chart here. Oh, man. Before we take... Well, yeah. Well, let's check out the TPO chart first. Do we have single prints? Surprisingly, we don't have single prints. Surprisingly, we do not have single prints. The only single prints we have, we actually filled and then rejected from. So, interesting. We don't have single prints to see it like a big move to the upside, but I do want to take a look at this CVD because we are actually building some pretty bearish CVD right here. This was a pretty bearish CVD divergence. We saw quite a few longs being absorbed right here after the bounce. After that first initial bounce, we saw quite a few longs being absorbed. And a lot of them are still open, guys. So we have a bearish CVD divergence up here. You can see that a big increase of open interest, and we are seeing the CVD getting higher as the price is making lower highs. All right, so we're seeing bearish CVD, which basically means we're seeing big players setting limit short orders as we are kind of grinding up, not even hitting the VWAP. Very interesting. What else is quite interesting here, wow, is just this move to the downside was actually fueled by quite a significant amount of shorts opening. So one thing I can say about this order flow is right now it's objectively speaking quite bearish, because after the big dump, which essentially was just a long squeeze, we saw shorts opening up like crazy in this consolidation, and then they were able to push us down to make a lower low. And then as we're at this lower low, we're not necessarily seeing a lot of shorts opening, but we are seeing longs being absorbed, which is a bearish sign, right? Longs being absorbed. And if anyone doesn't really know what that means, well, let me tell you. Let me tell you what that means. When we talk about longs being absorbed, what we mean is this. When you see on your order flow chart, this is CoinLines, this is a free tool, okay? If you see that the price is making lower highs, in a consolidation like what we're seeing right here. But you're clearly seeing over time like shorts opening up. The way we can tell shorts are opening up here, I'm sorry, longs opening up. The way we can tell longs are opening up is because we're seeing open interest increase, which means there are fresh trades opening. People are putting their money at risk. And we're seeing the CBD getting higher, which is telling us those are long trades. So we're seeing more longs opening up here than there were here. All right, so this is kind of like an algebra equation, because what should be the case is, you know, more longs than shorts equals higher highs. Right? I mean, this is just how the market moves. This is why price goes up, because there's more buys than sells. There's more buys and sells than we expect that. More longs than shorts, higher highs. But if we see something weird like this, more longs and shorts equals lower highs, what's the issue here? Well, this doesn't add up, so that means there's another variable in here. So more longs and shorts plus X equals lower highs. And what's the X? The X is that there are big players up here, all right? You might call them whales. I'm going to try and draw a little picture of a whale, a mini whale. There's this whale tail, all right? There's whale up here, and he's filling up limit short orders. Every retail trader that's hitting that long button is just filling up a short order, which is why we can see more longs and shorts opening up, but price doesn't get higher, because for every long, a short is being filled, right? So if there's somebody holding price down here with limit orders, looking to push us down a little bit lower. And so far, it does look as if they are being successful in their absorption here. Right? So we saw a large number of shorts opening up in this area. Those shorts won out. They pushed price to a new low. And now we're seeing bear whales accumulate short orders here while retail is trying to long the Fibonacci golden pocket, right? When I say retail, I include myself in that as well, because I am long from the golden pocket, but I've already locked in a guaranteed profit on the trade. So no matter what happens here, you know, then it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter, yeah. All right, we got some super chats in the house. Whale, whale, whale. Whale, whale, whale. There's not just one whale out there. There's many whales swimming in the sea. Yeah, the way I look at it is either there's one big whale absorbing all the longs, or there's thousands of minnows, each with a $1 limit order. Millions, I should say, not thousands, millions. Millions and billions. All right. Beautiful head and shoulder on the 5-minute. Who do you send your BLOFIN user for the $100 giveaway? I'll let you know, Giovanni Farr. I'll let you know when we do the giveaway. All right. Yeah, all right, we got some super chats in the house. Shout out to Jake, the crypto snack. Thoughts on the 3-month bear div on Bitcoin and the total 3. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I have some thoughts, man. The 3-month bear div, we were looking at that on a previous stream, if I remember correctly, if my memory serves me. So here's my thoughts, and this is what I have to say, okay? I have to say it because I was paid to say it. Just kidding. I wasn't paid to say it, but I have to say it because it's the only way that my bullish bias can actually come to fruition. I think that this still has the potential for us to make another higher high, okay? The reason I say it is because last cycle, we printed and confirmed the red dot, right? And remember, this happened back in, like, I guess, June, July, where we confirmed the red dot. And then in November, right? So a whole, like, few months later, 4 months later, we make the higher high, okay? So that's why I say that. I'm still hopeful that we hold, you know, even if we range here for a few months, then we can make our higher high. And that this, I have to say that because I'm not expecting the high to be in. The high could be in, guys. I'm not going to say that it can't be. All right, please don't hear me say that. But I just have never seen a bull market top with so much fear and bearishness. I have never seen that. So it doesn't make sense to me that the top is in yet. I don't think that, just in general, ETH is not going to hit a new all-time high. That seems crazy to me. That really just seems absurd to me. Okay, so admittedly speaking, I'm going off my feelings, okay, and just like intuition here. But I just don't feel like the high is in yet. I just don't feel like it's in yet. If it is, then I'll have to be wrong, okay? And I'm okay with being wrong for a number of reasons. Reason number one is because, you know, I've been selling my Bitcoin on the way up. Like, as everyone, if you follow the channel, I've been very vocal about the fact that I've been selling my Bitcoin in this area that I bought in this area, okay? So I've been super vocal about that, super open and honest, that I'm more out of Bitcoin than in right now. Because when you're in a bull market, you should be selling. That's just the way you got to do it, right? So between 60,000 and 100,000, I've been selling my Bitcoin. So I've already made my money this market cycle on Bitcoin, not on ETH, not on Sol, not on any other altcoin I haven't sold. But yeah, if I'm wrong about the top being in, I can at least I can say that because nobody can time the exact top, I can be happy and proud of the fact that I didn't let the bullish emotion sway me from my plan to sell at those specific prices, right? I stuck to my plan throughout the cycle, which is very important to do if you actually want to make money here. If you're one of the people that holds Bitcoin forever because you're going to retire on it, that's a totally different story. I also do that. I have a whole stack of Bitcoin that I will never, ever, ever sell, and I'm constantly adding to that stack. But when it comes to the 4-year cycles, I buy and I sell so I can buy again and sell again and stack more Bitcoin that way. That's how I add to my forever Bitcoin without slaving away to dang 9 to 5 to put like $50 into Bitcoin every month, right? So use the Bitcoin to get more Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty. Yeah, but that's why I have to say that I don't think that the high's in. I've never seen such bearish sentiment here. There's just a new crypto strategic reserve that's being announced. I have a feeling that they just want to buy a little cheap Bitcoin, buy it a little cheap, sell it a little expensive, and then we can dump it, right? But yeah, the 3-month bear div definitely is looking a little bit sus. But remember what happened last 3-month bear div. It just led to a few months of range and then pump. All right, shout out to Gerda Parn, who says, love that bearish CBD. You love the bearish CBD? Cool, cool. Shout out to JGD, super sneaky level, 64854. Okay, it's the Bitcoin. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. It's the Bitcoin high of 2021, the 2024 equilibrium, and 63,734 is the point of control of the 2024 naked, and 62,692 is the 0.5 fib from 15K to the all-time high on regular scale. So JGD is looking from $63 to $65,000. So here are some sneaky levels if you want to go ahead and add them to your chart. Some sneaky levels if you want to go ahead and add them to your chart. All right. What advice do I have for starting with very little money? Have I tried inverse perps? Absolutely, man. I always trade them, but right now I'm currently only trading them on Bybit, and I don't have any trades open on Bybit right now. But yeah, I love trading inverse perpetual. It's a shame that BLOFIN doesn't currently, you know. There goes the YouTuber bragging about how they sold while telling everyone the top isn't in. Yeah, I mean, look, I've been here. I've been totally open and honest the entire time. And I got a lot of crap for selling too. But I don't feel that the top is in. So here's the thing about trading. And this is gonna help you so much, whether you're a hodler or a trader. Okay? This is gonna help you so much if you're a hodler or a trader. If you learn to take partial profits, aka scale out of positions, you can be wrong and still be right. For example, this trade. The initial plan for this trade, from the setup that was given in advance in the Casper crew, is to hit $97,000. All right, this was my plan, $97,000. Okay, now what if I'm wrong? guess what? I made $5,000. Okay. So even if I'm wrong about my $97,000 take profit, I'm still right because I made money on the trade. That's what really counts. You have to set up your investing and trading to, first of all, mitigate losses as much as possible. Right? That's the first priority, is don't lose money. And the second priority is make sure that you're making something. Okay? So I'm not bragging about the fact that I sold. I'm saying I am proud of my decisions. No matter what happens, if we pump from here, I won't regret selling Bitcoin at $80,000. I won't. Because I went into this 4-year cycle with a plan to say, this is where I'm going to sell no matter what. Because I want to make money. Right? And the same is true with all these trades that I'm in right now. Okay? I longed the golden pocket. Well, guess what? What if I'm wrong? What if we don't bounce from here? Doesn't matter. I'm guaranteed to make like $800 on the trade. Same with the short trade. What if we bounce from the golden pocket and we don't hit lower targets, right? Well, I'm guaranteed to make $10,000 on the dang trade, okay? It's about putting yourself in a position so that even if you're wrong, you're still right. You're still on the winning side. And this is especially true with the macro market cycles because you have to understand that it's very difficult to time tops and bottoms. So don't even try and do that. Just scale out of your dang position, right? You got to buy when it's hard to buy. You got to sell when it's hard to sell, which is true. And trust me, it was hard to sell at $80,000 because everybody and their grandma was telling me, Jason, you're such a moron, such an idiot. And I thought to myself, yeah, they could be right. And they still could be right. They still could be right? Maybe we go up to $250,000 this cycle and I miss out. But here's the thing, I didn't miss out because I made money. All right, so that's how you have to approach this. And I've been honest about my selling, and I've been honest about my fact that I think we're going to pump higher. Okay, but I'm mitigating risk. I'm taking profits. That's something that everybody should get into the habit of, in my opinion, because instead of giving it only one shot, we only have one chance to take profit, and if you miss it, you miss it. You're guaranteeing that you're going to make profit no matter what really happens, right? But I don't know. Shout out to Monty. Why do people hate YouTubers watch them? I don't know. Shout out to our super chat. We got a super chat in the house. Shorted ETH at around 2K, TP at 16 or 15. I'd say if I was in that position, I would be TPing at. Let's come over here. Let's come back to trading view. I would TP at both. I would set some limits in that zone because for me, we've got ourselves a zone of support down there, which is the POC of the range. That's coming in at 1600, and then the 786, which is coming in around 1500. So to me, the short from 2000 was a nice short. Congrats. Yeah, I'd be looking down to that zone. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm a little snippety today. Man. I had a really weird week, all right? So Lord have mercy on me and forgive me for being snippety. I feel a little snippety on stream, all right? But praise the Lord, because he did heal me. I was sick yesterday. I had a fever of 101, and the Lord healed me last night. And I feel great today compared to yesterday. I didn't think I would be able to walk on this treadmill today, to be honest with you guys. So praise the Lord. Thank you, Lord. And I'm sorry, y'all, if I've been a little snippety on this stream today. I'm still just a little bit strange. All right. 6 minute money flow curving nicely. Let's check out our 6 minute money flow here. Yeah, it is curving kind of nicely. So it's the 6 minute money flow against that bearish CVD. All right, 6 minute money flow against this bearish CVD here. Let's see which one will win out. I don't seem snippety. That's good. I feel a little snippety. That's why I said that. I have some snippetiness in my spirit today. All right. More skibbity than snippety. All right, I'm a little skibbity. Ginger tea. You know, what I did have today was I had a little chicken bone broth with some ginger and turmeric in it, with some onions, some onions and carrots. Shout out to Traffic Light Trader. Shout out to JC. Shout out to Georgia Vol. People are upset now, haven't already lost it all and had to get it back before. Not just talking crypto. Shout out to Seth. Thank you, man. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Alrighty. Man, okay, so Bitcoin's starting to get a little bit of a move down. There's a high time frame fair value gap at 74 to 70.6 that Rex Day Trader is looking at. Yeah, that's definitely a good zone. Shout out to Captain Happy, who says Trump might be wrong on many things, but he's right about missing exports and missing jobs. That sounds disgusting, buddy. Actually, I really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it, but yeah, I guess it does sound kind of gross, right? I guess it does sound a little bit gross, to be honest. Alrighty. Alright, let's see what happens here. By the way, guys, we are going to be doing some giveaways today. So, if you want a chance to win $100 of free money to trade with on BLOFIN, make sure to sign up using my link. And BLOFIN's actually a pretty nice exchange. I had no issues with them. I've not heard of any issues with them either. They'll give you 10% cash back on everything you deposit into your futures account, future bonuses, chance to win prizes, and they're giving away 10 $100 deposits for those who have signed up under my link. Also, I got to give a shout out to ANTARCTIC Exchange, which is currently live right now. It's a new decentralized exchange. Lowest fees available right now if you sign up to ANTARCTIC. It's a very new exchange. They don't have a mobile app yet. And they are limited on the position size you can enter in right now because it doesn't have market makers. It's a peer-to-peer liquidity pool. So it's actually a really great opportunity for traders because we're trading against each other instead of trading against market makers. And it's decentralized, so all your capital is held on your own on your own hot or cold wallet. And every transaction is made via smart contract, which is totally transparent on the blockchain, third-party tested to try and hack. Can't be hacked, all right? All that kind of good stuff. Check it out. This is going to be my main exchange. Once everything is like good to go with the mobile app and everything, this is where I'm going to be trading because I'm tired of all the funny business and scam wicks and all that. All right. Also, JasonCasperTrading.com to join the VIP Discord. And MEXC, the other exchange I'm trading on. Good deal on fees on MEXC, but you do need to KYC. All right. Alrighty then. Let's see. Getting a little bit of a dump here on Bitcoin. All right. V-shaped recoveries are rare. You love Antarctic. That's what's up. Yeah, on Antarctic, you are the market maker. You own the exchange. You actually you will get paid if you're participating in the exchange. You can get paid from others' liquidations or from your own liquidation because we are the market maker. Everyone shares in the fees. Everyone shares in the liquidation fees and all that kind of stuff. It's an exchange made by traders for traders. It's something totally new. All right. Shout out to the Razor Blade. How many of you guys are here just for the giveaway? Be honest. Put a 1 in the chat if you're here just for the giveaway. And while you're putting a 1 in the chat, make sure to like the stream because we got 1,700 viewers. 700 likes, so make sure to like the stream while you're at it. Let's smash up the likes. There is no giveaway today. No, there is a giveaway today. We're gonna do some giveaways today. All right, so we got some 1s in the chat. Black Hat, thank you for your honesty. Omar, thank you for your honesty. You know, I understand that. I understand that. All right, Mond. Exact. That's what's up. What giveaway? We're going to be giving away some $100 giveaways for those who are signed up on BLOFIN under my link. All right. those who are signed up to BLOFIN under my link. We'll be doing some $100 giveaways. All right. So Ant-Man Hustle is also here. That's what's up, man. Look, I appreciate the honesty. The honesty with an H. Honesty. All right. Shout out to our super chats in the house. Rude Raksh Argwal. Shorted ETH. Okay, we already answered that. Thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Tukulitis17. Can you take a look at Bitcoin dominance to see if it topped? Yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance to see if it topped. Alrighty, so what do we got here? Well, we do have some bear divs on the daily. Let's go ahead and pull some fibs here. Just curious to see from the 2021 high. Alright, so we're coming into the Fibonacci Golden Pocket 786 zone. Let's put it on log actually here. Okay, so historically, we are in that area where Bitcoin dominance tops. All right, we saw that happen in 2020. That's that golden pocket 786 zone. In fact, we just tapped into the 618 with a double top there. So we are in that zone, and I do have to say that the Bitcoin dominance looks very strange right now in this channel. Right, this is begging to get just shredded apart once we lose it. It's begging for just a fast drop down to like 50%, right, to hit that support resistance flip right here. Has it topped out? Well, we have some bear div on the weekly, some slight bear div, some slight bear div on the daily. We don't really have that bear div on the 4 hour, but money flow is coming down. But we are in runaway train momentum territory here. I'd say it's a bit hard to tell. It's a bit hard to tell right now. Because we don't have confirmed divs on the high time frames, and the 4 hour is looking suspicious. You know, we have thicker money flow here than we did at this wick back in February. So it's a little bit difficult for me to tell. I know a lot of people are calling for an alt season now. I think it's yet to be determined. I think it really depends on what happens with Bitcoin here, okay? If we see Bitcoin get a big fast drop, alts are going to bleed like crazy. And here's the thing. That would suspend alt season until Bitcoin finally gets another pump, in my opinion. I'm holding out for a big pump that to a new all-time high. That's what I want on Bitcoin. And then I would love to see alts rally and see alts hit their new all-time highs. That's what I hope. That's what I would love to see. Shout out to Lieutenant Dan Dangle. I'm planting Alberta peach trees this weekend and began hatching quail today. Thanks for your content, Jay. You've really helped me form my pan. Well, that's what's up, man. And God bless you. And man, I love peaches. They're one of my favorite fruits. And I have been unsuccessful at growing peaches on my property. I can't get them to grow. I don't know what it is. I haven't had success with my trees lasting more than a year. I've had success with apples, with pears, the peaches, just no, I don't know. So, I'll try not to covet your peach, man. Alright? I'll try not to covet. Who else we got in here? Do some giveaways. Do some giveaways. It's feeling like 2018 again. I hope it's not going to be like that, you know? Oscar Ramos sucks? Why do you think that? I like Oscar Ramos. Shout out to Oscar Ramos. Here, shout out to Oscar Ramos. I like watching him, man. Roboballs 42 is here for the plungers and the freestyles. All right, let's do some giveaways. Actually, let's pump the likes up to 1,000 and then we'll do some giveaways. All right. Let's pump the likes up to 1,000 and then we'll do some giveaways. How about that? Grow peaches in the greenhouse. I don't have time for that. My style of gardening is as lazy as possible. Okay? I do as little work possible for the most potential fruit possible. So I don't do anything in greenhouses. I don't seed anything in advance. Everything I do is direct sow into the earth. Everything. Tomatoes, direct sow. Squash, direct sow. Lettuce, kale, all that, direct sow. I don't deal with seedlings, and I don't deal with greenhouses and all that stuff. I just don't. I don't have time for that. And the scale that I garden, I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? So everything I do is direct sow. I put down the landscape fabric to prevent the weeds from growing and to keep the moisture in. I do very, very, very little weeding, minimal watering, and the only things I really do is like fish emulsion for fertilizer. Obviously, like the chickens make the compost that I put on. Yeah, and then if it's potatoes or garlic, I plant that stuff in underneath the landscape fabric, and I hill it with straw on top of the landscape fabric. And you know, I do very little work. That's how I've landed on it. So I don't have time for greenhouses. I don't have time for that stuff, man. Shout out to Grunkle Ron Walker, who's here for the technology of crypto. LOL. Me too, man. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here too. What risk reward do I have in eggs and potatoes? It's a good risk to reward. Honestly, it really is a good risk to reward on eggs and potatoes. All right, 50 more likes, and we'll do some $100 giveaways. You know what I'm saying? XYNVX says, I think the market's going to make a nice recovery, just a lot of FUD to discourage traders. Yeah, it could really be. You know? Could be. I hope that's the case. I'm thinking maybe we get a little bit of a move to the downside. Let's take a look at Sol, which is breaking out. All right, let's take a look at Sol, which is breaking out here. Man, Sol is breaking out, baby. Would you look at this? Massive pump on Sol right now. Hang on, let me switch to the screen. Have you guys ever seen such a pump? I don't know if I've ever seen such a pump before. Alright, yeah, well, let's take a look at Sol here. So, I don't know if I consider this breakout here, but let's see. We made a double bottom. We didn't even take the low on Bitget here. So that doesn't look good to me, to be honest with you. That doesn't look good to me, to be honest with you. I would actually prefer to take the low at 109. The only way I would feel bullish on Sol, to be honest with you, is if we reclaimed our POC and break out this trend line. Like this, and then come for the retest. That's the only way I would really feel bullish on Sol. If we lose this and get a nice reclaim, that gives me a good risk to reward ratio, because wherever we wick down to is where you put your invalidation. So if we get a wick down and then reclaim, we know stop loss, entry, and then target, in my opinion, would be up here, which would give us a nice trade setup, because we are seeing the bullish divs there. But I just don't think that this looks bullish right now, because we didn't take that low, right? So what we're seeing on market Cipher B here, this is not an actual bullish divergence because we didn't make a lower low here. So I'd be cautious. I'd be cautious. Also, this yellow VWAP here on the daily looking like more downside is possible. So I'd be cautious here on Sol. I'd be a little bit cautious on Sol. Just a little cautious, that's all. Just a little bit cautious, that's all. 5-second pump on Bitcoin, massive. All right, let's check out the 5-second pump on Bitcoin. That's what it's come to, guys, as us traders. Whoa! The 5-second pump on Bitcoin is massive. This is what I thought I was going to see in Sol. I thought I was going to see this on the daily for Sol. Wow, Bitcoin getting a big move on the 5-second. Let's check out order flow here. Let's see what's happening. Wow. Okay, so we're seeing shorts liquidated, obviously, here. We're seeing some shorts liquidated on this move. Interesting. Shorts liquidated. You know what's interesting is pretty much all the shorts that opened up here are now out. And the only bearish sign here is this bearish CVD. So let's see if we continue to print bearish CVD here. If not, maybe we reclaim VWAP and get a little bit more pumpage. That would be crazy. Wow, our 5 seconds pumping here on Bitcoin. Oof, look at this. I mean, even the 1 hour's looking pumpy on Bitcoin here, baby. This is nice. This is nice. Let's do it, baby. All right, we do have 1,000 likes, so we are going to do some giveaways. Yeah, we got a bull div on the 1 hour. We got a bull div on that 1 hour. So let's see. Let's see what happens. What website do I use for order flow? I use Exocharts, and I use, what else is it called? Coinalyze. Coinalyze.net. Let's check out our 6-minute money flow on Market Cipher B here. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice here. Yellow oscillator. We need, you know, our first sign of strength here is going to be reclaim 82.7. 5-minute change of structure here. And then the 1 hour structure at 83.8. So let's see what can happen here. Let's see what can happen here. XRP pumping. Crypto face opened the long, huh? Is that true? All right, shout out to In the Moment. Just in, President Donald Trump says the market's going to boom. That's some ambiguous language there, you know? That's some ambiguous language. That could be good or bad, you know?
Make sure to like and subscribe to Jason Casper. He's the best YouTube trader in the world. He's getting huge. Shout out to the Casper crew.
Shout out to Donald Trump, by the way. All right. All right, so we're going to do some $100 giveaways. Here's how we're going to do it, guys. First of all, you have to sign up to BLOFIN using my link. And then I want you to get your user ID and get ready to paste it in the chat, on the YouTube chat. Because what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the YouTube chat. And when I count down from 10, the first 5 people that I see post their whatchamacallit here. What is it called? The first 5 people that I see post their thing. What am I talking about? Yeah, the first 5 people that I see post their user ID on BLOFIN will be our winners. All right? So I got to make sure this thing is on live chat. And what I want you guys to do is I'm going to post your user ID. Gotta have to sign up with my link, and I'm going to count down from 10. And then the first 5 will be our winners. All right. So you guys ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Post. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Joshua Max. He's the first one. So we got Josh, Darver, Roboballs, Chart Skills, and Fox Bundler. Congratulations, guys. These are our 5 winners right here. All right. Shout out to y'all. You guys are the winners. All right. Each of you will receive $100 in your account ASAP. All right. Congratulations to our winners. You guys are awesome. And Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a pump here as well. Let's see if we can't change local market structure. You know, right now, again, we are being held down by this trend line here. All right, we're being held down by that trend line. So let's see what happens, Bitcoin. Congratulations to our winners. Well, don't worry, PF Kellerman. We'll be doing this again, all right? Shout out to One Hype Soul, says it's rigged. Shout out to Cody. He says, why does his chat look different than mine on the giveaways? Because it's fake, bro. Come on, man. How many times we got to go through it? How many times we got to go through it? Jeez. Yeah, don't worry. There'll be super time to... we're breaking out, baby. We're breaking out. Yeah, you guys are going to get your $100 prizes. Shout out to Roboballs. He says, this is my first time ever winning something on your channel. Well, congratulations, Roboballs. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that, bro. I'm happy that you have won, because I see you here all the time, man. I appreciate you. All right, we're starting to get a break. We're starting to get a move. We're starting to get a break. We're starting to get a move. Let's go, baby. Let's go. See if we can break our structure here locally. Get a little retest and then off to the horse races. Let's see. Can you guys imagine if that were to happen? It breaking out like so, yeah. JB says it's not rigged, but the method to use does make it look suspicious. I mean, it is weird that I just take a screenshot of the live chat that everyone else can see. I mean, that is weird, counting down from 10. Makes it seem super suspicious, I know, man. Shout out to Ariel for the super chat. The reason I do my giveaways that way is because I used to do a raffle, right? But what would happen is people would scam other people and make fake accounts and steal people's prizes. And because people suck, I had to now do it this way, right? This is the only way I can do it where nobody is going to steal your prize. Right? Like if I do a raffle and it says like Johnny123 won, somebody like in 2 seconds will make an account Johnny123. There'll be like 3 Johnny123s in the chat. Then I don't know who's the real one, you know? Oh, hello Jason. God bless you. God bless you too. Can you check if my ID is linked to your referral link? I cannot check. There's probably a way to check. Super chat did not let me put my ID here for security reasons. Yeah, so open up a ticket in the free Discord and we can get that checked for you. Alright, thank you so much for the super chat. But, shout out to Fox Bundler. Yeah, the only thing that's really suspicious here is the webcam. But, man, it just goes to show you, you can't make everybody happy. This is one of the first things I learned in business. Some people are going to love you, some people are going to hate you. You could give away money and people hate you for it. You don't give away money, people hate you for it. Anything you do, people are going to hate you for it. It could be anything, you know? Hold the door for somebody, they hate you for it. Don't hold the door for somebody, they hate you for it. Can't please everybody, you know? Shout out to HFG, God bless you, man. God bless you. We need a pump rap. Man, I don't even know if I have it within me right now to do a pump rap, but we could give it a shot. All right, does anyone have a beat? Yeah, shout out to Steve O'Charts who understands that it's not rigged. Make sure your chat options are in live chat instead of top chat. YouTube has 2 ways to display the chat, okay? You could put it on top chat where it only shows certain messages from like people who have been subscribed for a long time that actively participate in chat often, right? We can put it on live chat where it shows you every single person that posts in the chat. All right? So that's the difference. In fact, I even put it on live chat. You guys saw me put it on live chat. I literally said I gotta put it on live chat, and I clicked the live chat button for all you guys to see, man. Yeah. Shout out to Salim. He says, I guess it does call for the pump song. Yeah, what the heck? What the heck? We might as well do the pump song. I don't know if I have the pump song in me either, guys. But we'll see. The pump song guaranteed to pump the Bitcoin price every single time. Sometimes it has a delayed effect. Alright, this is the pump song, baby. In order to properly sing the pump song, take off your regular hat, put on your pirate hat, okay? Then, you gotta put on your eye patch. Arrgh! Because what kind of a pirate doesn't wear an eye patch? Then, you gotta put on these eyes. Because when you're looking at the Bitcoin price, your eyes are gonna pop out of your head and how much it's pumping. Then you gotta grab your dang plunger. This will be your microphone. Let's pump! Here we go, baby. Yeah! Here we go. Yeah! Here we go. We gonna dump? No, we're gonna pump, baby. Let's do it. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. Yeah, here we go, baby. Long trade in the green, if you know what I mean. Let's pump. Oh my goodness, look at that price. Here we go, baby. We're breaking out of the trend line. We're up right now, $1,682 in profits. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. Pop the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. Pop the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. All right. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling that special feeling that you get when you're trading the green. Oh man, screenshot this for my next thumbnail. Next thumbnail right here. Where's the stop loss? There is no stop loss. There's no stop loss. Uh-oh, we're getting a purple candle. But sometimes it does have a delayed effect. We can't forget about that, can we now? Here we go, baby. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. Pop the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. Pop the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're pumping Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, we're pumping Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, we're pumping Bitcoin. Yeah, we're pumping Bitcoin. Yeah, we get it down. Yeah, we're gonna pop. Yeah, we get it down. Yeah, we're gonna pop right now. All right, remember, sometimes it does have a delayed effect, guys. Sometimes it has a delayed effect. All right, shout out to Brian. He says, what did I just watch? Well, make sure to subscribe so you can find out later. All right. Okay, so look, we're coming back now for a retest. All right, we'll see if this is actually going to be a fake out or if this is actually going to pump. The 6-minute money flow does look pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. It does look pretty dang nice. All right. If you draw the trend line on the candle closes, it's a rejection. Oh, it's a breakout. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. Breakout and retest on the candle bodies. Breakout and retest on the candle bodies. Praise the Lord. That's all I can say, man. I'm just so thankful that Jesus healed me from my illness yesterday, because I was feeling pretty sick yesterday. You know, he definitely sustains the living with his covenant faithfulness. Praise God. What was the site for the order flow? It was Coinalize and Exo charts. Coinalize and Exo charts. Price did nothing but down since you started the pump song. Bitcoin's level 1. That's your short signal. Look, man, it has a delayed effect. All right, it does have sometimes a delayed effect. All right, we cannot forget about that. We can't forget about the delayed effect, man. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But all right, guys, I'm gonna head out, man. I love all of you. May God bless all of you in Jesus' name. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you guys, Lord willing, next week. Have a great weekend. Peace.